quick disclaimer: there's a big difference between Wildettes and American boxing fans. I know that most people do, but I just wanted to clear that up. An American boxing fan is like any other fan. They enjoy boxing. They want to see the best fight the best, and ultimately they want to be entertained. They're more than entitled to be biased towards primarily American fighters. I don't have an issue with that. I'm gonna be slightly biased towards UK based fighters or UK fighters. So that's not the issue. But Wildettes are slightly different. Wildettes are, and I say inverted commas, boxing fans who have just jumped on the scene maybe the last year or so, and they only have love for Deontay Wilder. They don't follow any other boxer. That's their guy. They don't watch his fights, but they watch the highlights, and they always have something to say in regards to that. So I've had a few sort of burning issues that I've sort of wanted to be cleared up, which I decided to put it into an audio format. And maybe those questions will be cleared up. Who knows? My first question is, why the double standards? And what I mean by that, I'm going to get straight into it. Most of the Wildettes, in fact, all the Wildettes, their opening statement is, Joshua's a coward. He didn't take the 50 mil. Why didn't he take it? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay. To an extent, I agree. If Joshua, said he was going to take 50 million, which I'm not disputing, he absolutely did, then yeah, he should take the fight based on him saying he wanted the 50 mil. But here's the issue. Wilder said before the 50 mil was even offered that he would fight for relatively nothing. It was about the legacy. His own words. In fact, I think at one point he even indicated he'll fight for free. So when an offer of £12.5 million was promptly made, how comes you didn't hold Wilder, to the same standard? Why didn't you jump on him and say, well, hold on, you said it was about the legacy. You said it wasn't about the money. You've just been offered 6, 7, 8 times your highest purse. Why are you not taking the fight? So why is it that Wilder gets a pass on making an outlandish statement in regards to fees involved, but Joshua isn't? So it'd be really interesting to sort of understand that mindset. And my second question is kind of linked to the first one, but it's about money. Why is it that as soon as money is brought up, you guys seem to go into some sort of fit? You don't like it when Joshua fans kind of belittle Deontay by basically saying he's making small change in comparison. He makes about 10%, of what Joshua's making. But yet your first response is, oh well, you shouldn't be talking about an next man's pocket. We don't do that. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about the actual fights. Okay. But in the very next sentence, you're then saying, well, he's a coward because he didn't take the 50 million. But like, whoa, hold on. We're now talking about numbers now. We're talking about money now. So why is it okay for you to refer to the 50 million that Joshua didn't take? But then as soon as you mention anything in regards to how little money Wilder's making, it shouldn't be about the money. Why? My third question is, do you honestly feel that Wilder has had the better caliber of fights? Looking at their resume side by side, Joshua has only had half the fights, so we can't even go that far back. So if we went back, I don't know, the last 10 fights, do you think, line for line, fight for fight, Wilder has had the better caliber of fighters? Bear in mind, he's never unified. He's never fought another champion, barring Stavern when he beat him the first time, for the WBC. But then Stavern hadn't been a champion prior to that. But nevertheless, he's still a champion. So he has beaten one champion. But since then, he hasn't. He's never unified. He's not taking really that many risks with the belt itself. Whereas I'm looking at some comments and you got guys saying that Joshua's trash, he's not a champion, he's not fit for the 3 titles he's got. Do you honestly, deep down, and be honest, feel that Wilder has fought the better caliber of fighters in comparison to who Joshua's fought. My next question is, do you actually believe, and again, it's kind of linked to the third one, but do you actually believe that Joshua lacks the ability to beat Wilder? I mean, looking again at most of the Wildettes comments, most of them think this is going to be a breeze. They're thinking he's going to go in, he's going to knock his head off, and he's going to walk out and take all the belts. I've never really heard any of them say, this is going to be a closely fought fight. Joshua's, has is dangerous, but I back my guy. I mean, that's fair enough. I have no issues with that. But the general consensus seems to be is that this is going to be a walk in the park. So do you believe that Joshua lacks the ability to be able to beat Wilder? My last question is, how long have you been a Wildette for? Most seem to only have been recent, last year or so. They have very little boxing knowledge. They seem to just like the hype and the drama. I mean, I don't understand why they just don't watch WWE, but whatever. They jumped onto this. So how long have you been a Wildette? It's 5 real simple questions that I would love to hear the answers to. Most shy away from it, but be really interested to hear those who do attempt to answer it. And then I can have a look at it. And then maybe it can clear it up in my mind. And then I won't have to answer those 5 questions again.